Hi, my name is Becca Ripley. I am the Director of Marketing for SouthStar Capital. I'm here with Gerald Watson. He is the president of the Watson Group. He's worked with SouthStar for over 15 years. Gerald, tell me, what are the top 4 things with working with SouthStar?
Thanks, Becca. I guess, number one, out-of-the-box solutions to solve funding problems. And I could give lots of examples of that. One that comes to mind is I had a client once that had a federal government contract. They had payroll every week, but they only invoice once a month. Now, for most factoring companies, that would not work because the invoice hasn't been created yet, and they need funding before they invoice. SouthStar was able to, in working with them, we were able to structure a solution for that client to be able to monetize the collateral, which is the hours worked, prior to invoices on a weekly basis and verify it such that they were able to do an advance to the client on a weekly basis to cover their payroll. That's one. A second one is rapid response. And I can give lots of examples of that, from generating a term sheet on the front end, LOI, to all the way down to expediting of funding and closing and funding. SouthStar has really been great for that. A very recent example, about a week ago, I had a client who reached out on Friday. It was a 911 call. They've been pre-selected for a multi-million-dollar federal government contract and needed to come up with a financial commitment letter. This was on a Friday. They needed a letter that Monday. And so I was able to work with the team at SouthStar. We put together a funding package on an expedited basis, did some preliminary underwriting such that they were able to generate the commitment letter that the client needed for Monday, which helped to meet that requirement. Rapid response is really important. A third one is the ability to leverage assets, particularly hard assets, to generate additional cash, whether it's physical assets, whether it's real estate, additional equipment. Had a situation once, it was a manufacturing company. They manufactured large industrial equipment, and they were upside down. They had several MCAs. They were behind on a couple they were in default on, but they had contracts, they had orders. And if they had funding in-house to turn things around, they could work themselves out of that situation. What we did in working with the team at SouthStar, we're able to use the equity, monetize the equity in their equipment to generate a term loan, paid off the MCAs. And the beauty of it is that they were able to cover the payments out of funding proceeds. So there was no additional out-of-pocket cost to service that term. Done that many times with many clients. The last one is the team. And I got to tell you, the team at SouthStar, starting with Bernard and his wife Susan, David Vaughn, all the way down through underwriting and support staff. They're great to work with. And one of the things that stands out the most about the team is that they know two things that are very important. They know who their customer is, okay? And there's two customers. One is, of course, the client themselves, but the other are their referral partners. And what that means is that they're there to support the referral partner, they're responsive, and helping to meet their needs and requirements and getting the business across the finish line. So that's been my experience. I had a great experience in working with them, and look forward to doing a lot more business with SouthStar in the future.
Awesome. Thanks.